Hello everyone and welcome to Chess Learning YouTube channel. Friends, today I am going to discuss with you one beautiful concept of chess geometry. Now this concept will help you to reach your goals in your endgames, because after learning these tricks your chessboard will help you to reach your own goal. Now, what is this concept of chess geometry? Now, this concept will share with you that how you can utilize the dimension of your chessboard to place your pieces and find the best moves for you. Now, if you see here that my king is placed on the even square. Now, if this king has to reach e8 square, which will be the shortest path you think here? Now, most of you might think that the shortest path will be from e2, e3, e4, e5, e6, e7 and finally reaching to this e8 square. Now, this will require the 7 moves. Now, what if I go through f2, g3, h4, h5, g6, f7 and finally reaching to the e8 square? This also requires the 7 moves only. And what if I go from d2, c3, b4, b5, c6, d7 and finally reaching to this e8 square? This also requires the 7 moves only. Now this concept does not apply in the real life, because in the real life we think that the straight line path is the shortest one to reach the particular point. But now if I show you another example, that what if my king is placed on this a1 square and he has to reach to a8 square? Now this move also requires the 7 particular moves to reach the a8 square. And now if my king is placed on h1 square also and he has to reach this a8 square, then the similar 7 moves are required for this king to reach this particular a8 square. Now, why I am telling you this, you might have the question in your mind, but let us see a beautiful endgame in which the white utilized the concept of chess geometry in his worst position and he managed to draw in the end game against his opponent. So let's see this game. Now friends, this is the end game I want to show you. Now in this end game, if you analyze the position of white, his pawn on a5 is 3 moves away from becoming a queen, but the black's king is also 3 moves away to reach the a8 square. So this a5 pawn will never become a queen. Now the black's pawn on h7 is quite away from white's king and white will never reach that pawn, because the black's king is placed in an excellent d6 square. So now what idea should white apply here to draw this position? Because the pawn on h7 is quite dangerous for white. Now in this position I would like to recommend you to pause the video and try to find out the best moves for the white so that he can draw the position. If I want to give you the hint about this position, that white has to try to place his king in such a way that after black start moving his pawn, he can reach to the h7 square with that pawn. So this was the hint about this puzzle. So now it's your turn to pause the video and find the solution. I hope that you are ready. So now let me show you the solution. Okay, now the white will first move his king to c8 square, because he will try to tell black that he is going to reach his pawn and he wants to promote the queen. Then the black has only obvious move to king c6, because after black reaches to his pawn, the pawn on a5 will become unstoppable. So now king b8, king b5, king b7 and king takes a5. Now white will play king c6, and now this position is absolutely draw, because if you see here, after this pawn moves to h5 square, it will be his first move, second to h4, h3, h2 and h1. So it will require 5 moves to reach this h1 square, but white also will require only 5 moves to reach this h1 square. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now the black will move h5, king d5, h4, king e4, h3, king f3, h2, king g2, h1 equals to queen with the jack and king takes h1. Now this position is draw. Now what idea did white applied is, he placed his king on c6 square. Why c6? Because c6 is nearer to h1 square, only 5 moves, and the pawn on h7 is only away from the h1 square in 5 moves. So this was the brilliant idea white applied and drew this game. You can also try this type of applying the chess geometry in your endgames to draw and win the game. So now let's see the next position in which we will see tactical ideas of chess geometry. Let's see that game. Now here, this is the next position of the endgame which I want to show you. Now in this position, the move is of white. Now here, if you analyze with this engine, with any of the engine, it will show the winning position for the white. But here it is very difficult for white to find out the perfect moves. But if you know this concept of chess geometry, you will easily able to find out. Let me show you how. Now here, if you see that white has to promote his king, his queen through his pawn on a6. So he has to capture the pawn of black on a7. Now if you see, white is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 moves away from black's pawn to take and promote the queen. But what if if white tries to take the short path, then he will not able to promote his queen. Now let's see, what if white takes this path of e6, d6, c6, b7 and then takes the pawn. What happens? Let's see. Now white will play king e6, king c3, black will try to catch the king, so king d6, king d4, king c6, king e5, king b7, king d6, king takes a7, king c7, king a8, king b6, a7, king c7, and now this position is a draw. White didn't find out the perfect move for himself. Now what if we see another path for the white to win the game? Now you see here. Now what if white play king e6, then d5, then he go to c6, then b7 and finally capture the pawn. what happens through this? Let's see. First king e6, then black will move to c6 and d5, and now black cannot move his king in any other direction, but he has to move his king to d3. So king d3, then white will move to king c6, then king d4, king b7, king c5. Now king takes b7, then king c6, now king b8, then king b6, now b7. Now you see this, the black cannot put his king on c7 square because it is covered by white's king, and now black has to move his king to a6. Now a8 equals to queen, and now white is completely dominating this position. So what we can learn from this position is this move king d5, because it puts the king of black one move away from reaching the c7 square and to draw this position. Now learning the chess geometry is quite a tricky task, but by practicing you can improve this. So hope you have liked this video and my analysis. So thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and let's meet in the next cool chess video. Bye bye.